West Metro Fire. What is the address of the emergency?
Tell me exactly what happened.
It's on Firefighter.
There's a building on fire.
I think smoke coming out of room number 1.
It's catching the tree on fire now.
Yes, there's a grass fire.
Engine 1, Engine 2, Medic 2, Medic 3, District 1, unreported residential structure fire.
I'm sorry, you said what?
She's gonna have a baby, man, right now.
She's going to have this baby. We got to do it right, okay?
Is he breathing?
No, I don't think so. His dog, she jumped a fence and then went right down a hole.
Go ahead. Sir, the dog is out of the cave and well.
Please hurry. Yeah, they're on the way.
Copy. Fire under control. 1941.
At West Metro Fire Rescue, it's our mission to serve. In 2015, our crews responded to over 28,000 calls for help. Those calls included residential structure fires, commercial structure fires, and wildland fires.
Engine 9 and Brush 9, respond with units on scene for a brush fire on the highway.
Medical emergencies, and everything in between. Sometimes it's our firefighters and paramedics who save lives, and sometimes it's the quick work of one of our dispatchers.
Pump the chest hard and fast, at least twice per second. I need you to count out loud so I can count with you.
All the members of our team, firefighters, dispatchers, and our entire West Metro staff are here for you, no matter the emergency.
She was born October 13th. I woke up 2:15 in the morning and I just knew she was coming.
She gave her mom only a few minutes warning because little Tessa was in a huge hurry to get out into the world.
I had my husband call 911 and it was 12 minutes from first contraction to birth.
And it really picked up as soon as we realized that the baby was coming right then and there.
And for the West Metro Medic 7 and Engine 7 crews who answered the early morning call, the delivery room was a bit unusual.
I've done it in a hospital before, but in a living room was a little different experience. But mom and baby did great, so that helped a lot.
You know, if I had to give birth anywhere other than the hospital, it was better that they did it. So, great. They did an outstanding job and took great care of Tessa, great care of me, and I just wasn't worried about anything.
Mom and Dad dropped by Station 7 to introduce Tessa to the firefighters who were there when she made her unscheduled debut.
They're just great, a great group of firefighters and paramedics here.
And we're really glad that we could be a part of that special day and help them out when they needed us.
And the family also wanted to say thank you for keeping mom and baby safe.
We came to thank you guys for delivering this little girl. It meant a lot to us, and the safety of my wife was important to me. This is my life right here, you guys. So we came here to tell you thank you.
They're great guys, and they need to be recognized for that.
Are you Mark?
I am Mark.
Hi, Mark. I'm Tom Richards. How are you? I'm good. Good to see you.
It may be Mark Nelson's first visit to West Metro Station 8, but he's not exactly a stranger to the firefighters who are here to see him.
And so is the two of you and
Chris Laswell, Chim Kim, Jay Griggs. The three of us were there. Cody Beinlick was there.
And the fact that he can't quite remember their faces, well, there's a very good reason.
En route, dispatch had told us that CPR was in progress.
When Mark collapsed in his living room, his wife Connie started CPR and called 911.
The early recognition of the cardiac arrest and CPR initiated by his wife was just the paramount key to him surviving this incident.
the next thing I remember is I think must have been out of ICU.
We did probably 10 to 12 minutes of CPR total before he got the electrical activity and a heart rate back.
The Nelson family spent 9 tense days watching Mark in the hospital. But once he was up and walking, doctors were quick to give him a ticket home.
But then they ran me through all their tests, and they let me go home that night.
Wow.
He's up walking around and looks fantastic. Better than we could ever hope for as a crew.
And for the Engine 7 and Medic 8 crews who were on scene that day, the chance to see Mark and his family once again is priceless.
It's pretty special when a family comes back and thanks us and we get to see in person that the results of what we do and all our training put to use can have a great and positive outcome for a family.
I didn't want to walk away without telling I appreciate it all from everyone.
As a fire district, it's our duty to save lives and property. And it's also our duty to help those families in our district that need assistance.
Right there.
In 2015, West Metro Fire Rescue built partnerships with local businesses to find solutions to help make everyday life better and safer.
We're good to go right there.
So we're here today to improve access to the home for the resident. By building a ramp today, it improves her ability to get out and our ability to get in and assist her much, much easier.
It's wonderful. My gosh, my daughter needs this desperately.
She is living in a room off the front of the house, which is right off the front porch, which had steps going up to it. It prevented us from easily accessing her from this side of the home. We had to always go through the back side of the home.
Through the 2 or 3 doors and through the kitchen and out here. Well, one of the firemen talked to me one day about, you know, we really need to get her out the front door. Is there a possibility you could, you know, have a ramp bit? Well, there was no way I could do it.
There was some challenges that they faced, both financially and just with some other things going on for them.
And the next thing I know, another fireman comes and he says, well, we got it set up with Home Depot. They're going to furnish everything and we're going to do the work.
We were thinking maybe we could get some reconditioned lumber or something that, some miscuts, and instead we got an entire Home Depot team, all of the supplies donated, and obviously a huge amount of their time today to get this project done and really help these homeowners out.
So one of our core values for the company is giving back. For the fire department to reach out to us, it's got to be a big deal. I reached out to my store manager and we got the go-ahead to offer to help donate the supplies and a little bit of labor that we have here to help out.
We are going to be able to get in and out of her home much, much easier. It's safer for her, it's safer for us.
I am extremely, extremely surprised and so very, very happy and thankful. Very, very thankful.
Good boy! It's in my hand. Good boy!
I think what we'll do first, I'll explain a little bit of what we have here at the station and then what we do.
Good boy, Wade.
Today we took all our dogs to the fire stations so they could learn how not to be afraid of the paramedics, the firefighters, the trucks, all that.
Good boy. Oh my God.
It's just good interacting with the public. We get to know the people and they get to know us a little bit more.
We're going to come out here where we're going to get to check out the gear and watch one of the firemen put on his bunking gear and introduce our dogs to them.
Charming is 9 months old. He's half polar bear and half golden retriever.
That's alright. Good boy. See, it's a person.
I have Charming because I have had epilepsy for 9 years now, and he is my seizure alert dog. So basically, he can sense when I'm about ready to have a seizure, or if I am having a seizure, like let's say in my sleep.
Hey, Charming.
Say hello. All right, Char. Come on. Can we sniff around for a few seconds?
Absolutely.
Good boy. This is where mommy lays after you alert to a seizure.
He's a mama's boy, and he's already he tries to protect me, and so he needs to know that the paramedics and the firemen and the EMTs, they're good guys, and if they're gonna reach down and touch me or put a mask on my face or something, they're not hurting me.
It's always a concern of ours. The dogs are very helpful, but at times we need to get in and take care of the patient, and if the dog's trying to defend the patient or trying to keep us away, it could be a hindrance and delay care.
You know, you have to always look at things from your dog's perspective. It looks like a monster pretty much. You don't know that that's a human. You're gonna freak out. And that's why we bring treats and we positive reinforce and we just make, we let them go at their own pace.
Really?
It has 5 sides.
He's gonna remember this, but because we're in the training program for 2 years, we will come back in a year. Hold up, get down. So I'm very grateful to be here and to know that I'm gonna be protected by this wide array of resources.
Engine 7, Medic 7 on a fall injury.
Every year, West Metro firefighters respond to nearly 27,000 calls for help.
Respond on tech 2 at 1750.
And every day, crews respond to at least one of dozens of assisted living and nursing home facilities in the fire district.
We see a lot of falls. That is mainly what we end up calling 911 for. And in 2014, we have 227 residents in our community. And out of that number, we've had 223 falls. So we do see our firefighters a lot out here.
Eaton Senior Communities is an independent and assisted living facility in Lakewood.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you for being a great partner.
Thank you. We appreciate that. Thanks.
And it's the first to earn the West Metro Seal of Approval, a program with the goal of creating a safer place for senior living residents and employees.
Well, the idea behind the program for West Metro is to provide an opportunity for us to work hand in hand with the assisted living facilities and the nursing care facilities. We're there frequently, and our mission is to work in partnership to reduce the number of falls.
When we come next time, we'll be checking those off, and we'll be looking at the records you have here.
Qualifying for the Seal of Approval means a facility has to have an emergency preparedness and a fall prevention plan with lessons for both residents and employees. Facilities also have to strictly maintain and have up-to-date inspections of fire protection systems, which include automatic sprinklers and smoke detectors. Vital for early detection, since older residents typically have slower reaction and longer evacuation times.
We take emergency preparedness very seriously in our community. We've had an emergency preparedness committee of staff since 2010. So part of that is West Metro. West Metro is an important community partner of ours. So when we heard about the Seal of Approval program, you know, we see the amount of falls we have here. We are serious about emergency response, and we really do want to partner to make sure that it's a win-win. It's a win for our residents when we are beefing up our fall prevention program, and it's also a win for West Metro if they're not having to come out here as much, because then they can dedicate those resources for emergencies in the community.
Preventable falls not only put pressure on emergency resources, they can also result in costly medical bills.
A hospital visit can be anywhere from $4,000 or $5,000 up to a $35,000 stay in the hospital. And you know, financially that can have a huge impact, along with the injuries that occur during that whole process.
The number of residents age 65 and over is growing, not only in Jefferson County but all over the state, and senior independent and assisted living facilities are springing up everywhere. And while the Seal of Approval program is being rolled out now in West Metro's district, long-term the program could be adopted statewide.
Emergency preparedness is something that every long-term care facility should be working on.
Our intention is to help that be a safer environment for everyone.
Part of our mission to serve at West Metro Fire Rescue is the understanding that we have to be ready. And to stay ready, we train.
Got it.
In every profession, there are new ideas, new techniques, better methods. And it's no different in the fire service. In 2015, every one of our firefighters and each of our special teams spent hundreds of hours learning and practicing the skills we need to do our job. Training makes us a better fire district.
Live fire is just irreplaceable as far as creating a realistic environment for the firefighters.
Engine 7's on scene of a small two-story single-family home with a working fire on the second floor. Water, go, go! We'll be in the offensive strategy. We'll be killing command.
Essentially, we're practicing firefighting. We're practicing basic firefighting skills.
Medic 12 on scene.
Off the water!
Going inside the doorway?
Yeah.
We're practicing fire attack, we're practicing search, and we are, giving guys an opportunity to hone their skills and learn new skills.
Engine 7, go for command.
We want to serve the community to the best of our capabilities at a professional level.
We're always striving to get better. So continuing education in the fire service is important. There's always new things, new facets, new scientific data in the fire service, just like anywhere else, that comes into play, and we incorporate that into our new operational procedures.
Toby, we got a person up top, second floor, bedroom.
It's a little eerie walking in when you can't see anything and it's unfamiliar.
I got a victim. Cap, I got a victim.
The real fire is the best. You're not going to get better training without real fire. To get the real heat, the real smoke.
Where the firefighters come in on the second floor, it's probably at floor level 300 to 400 degrees, and as you go up towards the ceiling, it's 700 or 800 degrees.
How does a soccer player become a better soccer player? They go and they practice. Pulling the hose, flowing the water, hitting the hydrants, cutting the holes, feeling the heat. I mean, you do those things, you become a better firefighter.
Fire's under control.
Today we are out here, West Metro Fire, working with South Metro Fire as a part of the Metro Dive team.
Good to go?
We're doing a lifting operation on a boat. We've got a boat sunken in Cherry Creek Reservoir. And we're simulating a boat that's capsized and gone down.
And the depth is about 10 feet.
And make sure there's nobody inside and get it to shore. We generally have Metro Dive Team trainings 4 times a year, so quarterly we work together. Monthly we have individual department trainings, so we will go out and conduct a dive training just as West Metro Fire.
If you want to go down, he's gonna bring you that. Okay. The 2,000 now.
In Colorado, all of our water is pretty dirty. We lose visibility after about 4 feet of depth. It generally is about a foot of visibility at the bottom of the water, and that's if we haven't stirred up any mud. If we hit the bottom and the mud comes up, then our visibility goes to nothing. But it's very hard to see. We're in the dark and blind most of the time.
I'm at 2,300 PSI on air.
Well, as firefighters, we do that anyway. You know, we work in smoke where we can't see anything, and we're used to searching with only our hands and our feet and our tools. We do the same thing here, but we also use guidance from the surface. So we work off of a rope and an airline that goes down to us and lets us search based on a fixed point with that rope.
In the bow.
In the winter months, our #1 call is a dog on the ice or a dog that's fallen through the water. That's our most common call during the winter months. In the summer months, we generally have either boat incidents where there'll be a problem with a boat and we need to either get it back to shore, search for victims, or sometimes we have things like a vehicle that drives into the water. We've got reservoirs all over the metro area, a lot of streams and rivers in West Metro's first in and in the surrounding foothills that we sometimes help out with, and just some areas that are a hazard for our public that we can help protect. We have a Metro Dive team so we can pool resources. That way the individual departments don't have a need to have a complete dive team. They can split the resources amongst our participating agencies, which we have 4 agencies, West Metro, South Metro, Westminster Fire, and Thornton Police participate in the Metro Dive team.
Right foot, bro.
Today we're out here with all of West Metro's auto extrication companies.
Are we ready?
The technical rescue companies. And we're just practicing a couple of scenarios to better increase our abilities out on the road.
Yeah, it slid about 2 inches.
There's 100 different ways you can do each separate extrication.
And then we can stack another bag. Yeah.
The great thing about this is when these guys just get to use their mind to figure out the best possible way.
Yeah, it's finding its equilibrium here.
And maybe try a way in training that didn't work so well they won't use in the real world.
I need one more, yep.
Underneath the school bus we were building what's called a box crib. And what we use is we use 4x4 wood that we build up and we stack because our airbags which we were using to lift, only have a certain reach. The intent was to just give enough room to pull a victim off of the hood of the car. So in this case, to pull the car completely out wasn't necessary, and in fact can be a little bit more stable to leave it there. So we lifted up enough to pull the victim out, and then we set it back down where it's at. Generally, to have a very serious extrication is maybe 1 or 2 a month. There's some simpler ones that we do where we have to take a door off, or we just have to get somebody who's wedged in between something. That can be a little bit more regular. You might say, why don't we just push the car over? If there's somebody in there, you can cause an injury to get worse, so we have to learn to cut in multiple different ways. So the way this scenario worked out with the inability to get down to certain places, to really manipulate the tools in different manners and get comfortable using them in any position.
Jason trimmed it up, lightened it up to some more of the attachment points, and rammed it open.
In the real world, if it happens to be an easier one, getting good at doing it this way just makes it that much smoother out in the real world. You train just to be ready for it. If you keep up on your skills and training, that way when the event happens in the real world, you're ready for it.
Engine 3, Engine 11, Engine 73, Tower 3, Medic 9, District 2, respond 3535 South Kipling Parkway. Report of a residential structure fire confirmed. Possible parties trapped.
Brother, have you got a search on the first floor?
Engine 10, support Engine 11 with search.
What we're doing here today is we're practicing firefighter survival and rapid intervention techniques.
We have an attack crew in the basement.
It's a dark environment. It's pretty much blacked out.
It's a multi-company drill. We have Littleton, West Metro, Wheat Ridge.
Let's go.
In the fire service, the greatest asset is actually the firefighter.
You'll be given the command and the offensive strategy.
So we want to make sure that those firefighters are as safe as possible.
Dispatch Engine 73.
In this scenario, the first fire truck that gets on scene is initial attack.
Hey, command, this is Engine 3B. Just be advised, we are secure on a hydrant supply.
Second engine coming in is going to support that strategy and that tactic.
Front door is alpha side, north side for fire attack and primary search.
And then the third engine coming in is there for our safety.
Medic 2, command. I'll have you tie in with Engine 5.
If we have an emergency, there's no one else for us to call. So we have to rely on ourselves and the people we work with to get us out of trouble. We're kind of our last line of defense.
Command, mayday, mayday, mayday.
The rapid intervention crew is getting ready now. They're getting their packs on, getting on air, and they're going to head to the basement really quick.
Command, copy.
And they're going to find that firefighter. They're going to convert his air pack so they can drag him out and get him on air. Hey, Brendan, you're going in.
We're actually getting firefighter safety or a firefighter safety team on scene quicker so that if the firefighters do get in trouble, you know, we have individuals on the outside available to help them.
Copy, found the victim. He is conscious. He'll be exiting the Charlie side stairwell.
It allows me to perform my duties with a lot more confidence and less stress, to know that that kind of safety net is there.
There's 11 copies.
So it's important that we come out, we get to the drill ground, we do this stuff so that when those real calls come in, it's second nature, that muscle memory is already built.
All right, scenario over. Scenario over.
In 2015, West Metro Fire Rescue went out into our community to hold a series of meetings to hear and listen to what you had to say about your fire service. And we reached out to several city and county agencies and groups to talk about our future, laying the groundwork for West Metro's strategic plan. We're a part of this community and we value the trust you've placed in us. To be there when you need us.
Copy, thank you.
Whatever it takes to serve is what we live by. In 2015 and all the years ahead.
West Metro Fire, what is the address of the emergency?
Command terminated. You are clear. Thanks. 2045.